Hello, I'm the magnificent Jim Woods.
Yes.
That's what she tells me. Okay.
Yes. He is magnificent Jim Woods.
Yeah.
And today he's gonna tell you a story. He loves telling great stories. And the stories Jim tell you, they're always, how can I put it?
Almost true? No, I'm just teasing. They're always true.
They are complex, so you will get a whole picture with all the lines. And today we need to discuss starting over hundreds time.
Yes, I happened to do some research a few days ago on an article. I had read one that someone wrote about starting over. I thought this is kind of interesting, so I said I want to see. This is now remember this is starting over in the pandemic crisis that we're undergoing right now. All right, so I want to see what they said about something similar to this 10, 15, and 20 years ago. So I researched that again. Would it surprise you if I just removed the word pandemic? It was almost all the same.
It is.
It really was. It was talking about deep recessions, layoffs. The layoffs are still occurring. Companies and individuals were declaring bankruptcies. People were having divorces. People were dying. Forgive me for saying that. And if I seem cavalier about it, my apologies. But all these things, many things are happening now, perhaps not to this extreme, but the quarantines and all, were happening then. And I began to think about all throughout history that sometimes we make a mistake and we say, boy, I can't wait till going to a baseball or basketball game or we want to take cooking classes. We couldn't wait to do that. But everything has changed now, and we look at that and say, I can't wait for things to get back to normal. But if we're really honest to ourselves, we recognize that there was never, ever, ever a period of normalcy. I can recall going back to my bachelor's degree days in college, and I can recall well, we had a discussion in class about change, about how fast change is today. And I remember speaking in the class about how there's always been change. Just think of a period where there was not change going on. In the in the 1850s, change is still going on. I imagine back in the days of Socrates or someone, they were saying, when are they going to teach kids how to quit riding those chariots through the streets or something? When they're going to tell them to slow down before they get to an intersection? You know, the only reason they put horns in a car was because they wanted the car to slow down when they got to the intersection, so the carriage drivers would know that it was coming, because they never expected a horse to be around. My point being for you is right now is this can be the greatest time in your life, or you can make it the most miserable time. You can make it a period of despondency and major amounts of depression if you allow it to be. It does not have to be that. If everybody else around you are feeling that way or portraying themselves that way, they're shuffling down the street. They're saying that it's going to get worse. The pandemic is going to last another 6 months. It's going to last another year. It's going to be with us forever. You don't have to buy into it. It may very well be that way. But you won't be amazed at yourself. All the people that are creating unique discoveries, they're doing all kinds of things. They're budding their families, creating family businesses, new cookwares, new makeup, everything. They do everything. You could be part of that. Revitalize your life so that this moment right now you're in is not the worst moment. It's even the best moment. The best moment is coming up. And that's because of you.
Exactly. And we know starting over isn't easy, and it is even harder under circumstances like this. But you just have to. It doesn't mean how you achieve your success, how many times you try, as long as you achieve it, right? So you don't have to sit and wait that something good will happen. Create it.
It doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen that way. You know, I can recall after my marriage of 30 years, nearly 30 years had ended, I can recall living in a very nice condo alone. And I was rebuilding my life, rebuilding my business and all. And I recall very vividly when the electricity was turned off. I had a nice condo. I don't think I even had a car at the time. I rode my bike and I sold my car so I could stay in shape. but I had my electricity turned off and the gas was turned off. It wasn't a large amount of money, it's just that I had to conserve literally everything. And to make it worse, this just happened to be in the dead of winter. It was extremely cold with literally snow on the ground. No exaggeration at all. And I had very little to eat in the refrigerator. But you know what I did? I had a laptop. I get up every day, had a cup of coffee or some juice, and I went to work for long periods a day. That's what I did. But I remember going to bed one night, like it was cold, cold, cold. I had my clothes on, everything on. I put a cap on, and I bundled up with extra blankets. I had heat from no other source whatsoever. And I laid in my back and I fell asleep. But I got up the next morning very early and worked very late to try to make something happen. You know what happened again? I rebuilt my business again because I didn't mind starting over. I only had two options: start over, fresh, or stay where I was and cry another river. And crying another river was not going to do anything for me and those that look for me as an example. There are people looking at you for an example. Rise up. It's not going to be easy, but rising up is sure is a lot easier than lying down being dead.
You don't have to wait for anybody to help you. And sometimes you look around, there are people who seems getting everything like easy, and there are some people who will be waiting for someone else to help you, to help them with money or with job. They like constant victim whole their life, and you see that they will be getting that help or anything. You don't want to live that miserable life.
No.
You don't want to wait till somebody is gonna pay for you, sponsor you, give you a job, help you with this and that, help you pay your bills, help you dress your children. You don't want it. You're better than that. I want you to be better than that.
Lucy is a perfect example of that. I've watched how over the years how she struggled, and we were business partners long before we met and decided to get married. And I watched how every day she got up and she worked and she worked and she worked. And that's what I mean. If you don't have a job, if you have a job, you're likely going to lose that job. All right? And no matter how good you are, conditions have changed. Nothing is locked in right now except you and your significant partner. And together, or even alone, if you're by yourself, you can make something happen out of all of it. But you've got to get out and you got to be online right now, and you cannot send out the old resumes you used to send before. Everything has changed. You got to market yourself. You got to create a brand right now. And guess what? The good news is we've been there for you beforehand. We've gone through all of it, and we're going to help you get it all started. Work with us. We know how to do it.
Check our website, jimandlucywoods.com.
We can't wait to hear from you. Can't wait to work with you. You're going to love it. And if you don't, I'm going to need a bug or I'm going to stand on my head. All right? Take care.
He is the bug. That's going to be something.
Yeah, I can't wait.